Hey, what's up, friends? Trying something a little bit different today. We are going live on multiple platforms, but it's good to be back. Welcome, friends. I'm super happy to be here. I'm, of course, Jake the Wizard, your favorite marketing expert, here to help you grow your business, your side hustle with whatever it is you're working on. So, whether that be, um, you know, a small business, a medium business, you want to get more sales on your e-commerce, you want to build your brand locally, whatever it is, drop your questions in chat. I'm happy to help however I can. So, what's going on in the marketing world? Well, today, right now, just happened. There is, of course, a new Google update that's going out. Where's that information? I had that pulled up here and I lost the tab. Typical, typical losing the tab, right? Let's see, where was it? It was right here. Yep, new spam update. Here we go from Google. Google August 2025 spam update. This does not target link spam. It does not target site reputation abuse, but it does have some other policies. It's basically hitting some spam techniques that people have been using on their websites. So if you've been using any kind of spam work on your website to grow it online, whatever that is, you might be seeing some wavering. Everyone else is probably going to see some volatility in their rankings. We knew this was coming because just a couple of days ago, we did see some spikes in certain websites getting better positioning very rapidly. We're talking average position jump of like 10, which that rarely happens like that. So we kind of knew something was coming up. This is what it was. It was Google the whole time. So awesome. Let's see. I wonder how this is. Going. Oh, is it not going to feed me in my? I thought this fed in my TikTok chat as well. We may need to revisit this if this is not going to work. I don't know if it brings in my TikTok views or my TikTok comments. If you're on TikTok, do drop a comment. Let me know if you're seeing this in the live feed here. Let's see. I'm just trying to move around here and see if I can see it on my phone. I'm of course logged in as myself, so it's very difficult to see if I can see anything on my side, but it doesn't look like maybe my comments are coming in from TikTok. So we might need to do this in a little bit of a different way. So that's a shame. I was hoping this would be an all-in-one solve for this, but it looks like it is not. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Now let's do a little test comment here. Aiden, hello, welcome from YouTube. Good to see you. Yeah, it looks like um my comments from TikTok are not coming through. So we may end up doing this in a little bit different way in the future, but I wanted to just test out what it's like doing a multi-stream across, we're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram right now. I want to answer the best questions everybody's got. So please do drop your comments. I do have my phone here for TikTok comments. So as they come in, I will be able to grab them as well. It's been a while. Yeah, Adam, it has been a while for sure. Took a little bit of a break. We were working on some new adjustments to kind of uh, what I'm doing every day. Hey man, are you normal? You'd be the first person I've come across on YouTube streams. Squeeness, first of all, great name. Love that. Yeah, no, totally. I run a marketing agency. I've been going live on TikTok for several years now, basically helping people grow their business, grow their strategies, develop their marketing, whatever that might look like, with just, free tips, advice. I've been doing this a long time. And my whole goal is to help people grow their businesses. So if you have a business or you know somebody who has a business, get them in here, get their questions asked. I'm happy to answer whatever I can to help out however I can. Let's see. Are there any other platforms I think are not bringing in? Yeah, I think comments only come in through Twitch and YouTube, maybe LinkedIn. I'm not sure. Oh no, there's a LinkedIn one. Abdul, hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Let me grab my mount here. I moved my phone mount to my full tripod the other day for some video shooting. I've got some new videos coming out that should be really fun. Trying a little bit of a different format than I used to, a little bit more entertainment kind of style. So hopefully that pans out real nicely. And we'll just get this remounted here so I can see my TikTok comments, considering that's kind of my home platform. Although I'll be honest, getting a little worried about what they're doing right now with all of the major shifts on the TikTok side. So, okay, let's see. There we go. Hey, all right. Now I can see the TikTok live comments. Is kind of it's kind of a goofy setup right now, but that's all right. We're here. DL joining. What's up, DL? Good to see you as always. Happy you're here. Um, but yeah, so like I said, gotta be unwavering. Yeah, dude, this hat's the best. Is it possible we can do a Google Meet? Yeah, Abdul, just shoot me an email, or hit me up with a message on LinkedIn, and I'll get back to you. We can get something scheduled for sure. So, what else is going on in the world of marketing business? By the way, at any point, drop your questions down in the chat. I'm happy to answer them as you have them. I'll try and read them out as well so that everybody can see it across the different platforms. Um, let's see. AI, we're working on an AI chatbot, testing out that whole thing to see if that actually helps with your website, um, or website conversions, rather. So, looking forward to continuing to develop that. We're also, I've been doing a lot of advertising on TikTok. That's been going really well right now, to be honest. If you've seen those ads, I apologize on the TikTok crew. But I'll tell you what, they are working great, which has been fantastic for business growth. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's what we've been focusing on. Just keeping an eye on other platforms as they're developing. I know Facebook's been in a rough spot for a while. Is $300 per week for 3 months of ad spend for Facebook a good base post booster budget? I would not use the boosting feature on Facebook. It tends to underperform. The targeting is pretty weak and it can kind of waste your money. What I would do is I would go into Facebook, the full meta ads, and then link in your account, pull videos in that way that you've posted and run them as full blown ads. You're going to get a much better ROI on that budget than you would if you're just boosting them. Boosting is kind of a con job to a degree. What's a good source other than Google Ad Preview to check local rankings in different zips? There's a bunch of tools out there. We're testing a new tool. Well, it's not a new tool, but we're testing a tool called Whitespark right now, to see if there's any kind of improvements that we can squeeze out. Google Business Profile is in a really rough spot. And the reason why it's in a rough spot is because Google updated their algorithm for search results back in, I think it was June. It was June or July. I can't remember exactly. But back in June or July, they updated it. And when they updated it, what happened is the search results got more personalized, got a little bit better, but their algorithm kind of broke when it comes to Google Business Profile placements. And so now it's over prioritizing distance to the location as a ranking factor for your Google Business Profile. So that's a bit of a problem. It's something that we're testing things right now to see if we can get around that, get over that. But White Spark is one of the tools that we're testing right now. That's what I meant. Thanks. You're very welcome, DL. Yeah, I think that just running them as true ads is the best. Abdul, I'll look for that email and I will hit you up. We'll get that scheduled. Best place for marketing companies to put their ad budget since LSAs aren't an option. So we're a marketing company, and we over the last 3 weeks we've run a massive, massive advertising test, and I can tell you that the uh the result of that test, we tested 7 different platforms for paid ads for marketing leads. Our average cost per lead on Google was about $300 per lead. Okay. Our cost on Facebook Meta was about 170. Our cost per lead on TikTok is $12. So we actually readjusted our budget. We're putting all of our budget on TikTok ads right now because that seems to be the best. Now, I will say this: the quality of leads is not necessarily the best. We do have to do like a filtering because we do get some people who like have no budgets or whatever. They're just exploring, but uh, for quantity of leads, it's unbeatable right now. So that's what we've been doing. Should we optimize the contact and about pages for SEO? If yes, what should their H1 tags be? I think you're okay using like the traditional H1 tag of, about us, about our team, whatever, contact us. That's fine. Google's looking at that for context for the page. So when it sees that, it knows what kind of page it is. You're not going to get a ton of SEO value out of your contact page. Maybe you will. Sometimes you can. Your about page is going to get a little bit more, but the thing about page rankings is I don't see a lot of conversions from visits that start through that page. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big conversion location for things. I was trying to test White Spark, just a little pricey. Yeah, it is a bit pricey for sure. I'm an agency, so we've got the opportunity to do it. Frost, what's up? Good to see you. Wow, that's big. I agree, Adam. Thanks, Adrian. You're very welcome. Um, how is Whitespark Citation Finder? Does it compare to Bright Local? So that's one of the tests we're doing. We've historically used Bright Local for citations for local businesses. We are testing to see if Whitesparks is a bit better. So that's just a test we're in the middle of. I don't have an answer for you right now, but that's where it's at. So yeah. But going back real quick to the lead gen, we tested Snapchat, we tested Google, we tested Bing, we tested um, Reddit ads. Reddit ads did okay. Um, and we're trying to get our volume up so that we can actually use our personal DSP to do ad placements for our marketing agency. I'll tell you a cool one we're doing. We're doing a DSP awareness play for a restaurant, and I'm really excited for that one to report back on how that goes. So, White Spark's local ranking factor study is a gold mine. I'll have to check it out. I'll be honest, I'm not the team member spearheading that test. Have you been on lately? This is the first time I've seen you in a while. No, I took a small hiatus. I actually took a 2-week vacation. And then prior to that, I was doing a lot of hands-on work inside the business. So I kind of took like a month break, if you will. But the plan now is kind of rebuilt my team internally inside of my agency. So now my job, specifically my job, is now to do more of this, more videos. I'm going to be launching a weekly webinar that's going to be really, really cool. So I've been working on getting that together. I've been doing some other like little business brand things. Like we've been retooling the website. I'm building an AI chatbot. I built a bunch of landing pages for ads and developed those a bit. So like I had to just do some deep focus for a bit, and that meant that I had to take a break from being on TikTok as much as I like to be. So yeah, that's where I've been. Is there a dynamic sitemap service that links with console so I don't have to settle for SQSPs? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I just don't know about it. Thanks for the gifts over on TikTok. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Property Production. Appreciate you. Y'all are awesome. Ever heard of Neuron Writer? No, but I'm gonna guess it's some kind of AI chatbot writing tool. So there it is. Welcome back. Well, thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate you, and I always appreciate when y'all hang out with me. It's a great time. I am live streaming. This is a cool thing for those of you on TikTok that are watching. If you're on another platform, I'm trying a new thing. I'm trying to be more broad, more diverse in the platforms. So I'm actually live right now on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So if you are preferential to any of those other platforms, check those out there. Give me a follow there. I'm trying to just broaden out a bit. So uh good way to be, clean the mind. Good to see you. Always value bombs. Adam, you're a legend. Thank you, thank you. I know that GSC omits some click data, but a new site has 20 clicks and only shows where one click came from. So this is a problem with GSC and analytics because they're not the same thing. So we just went through this with a client. You can get a click from GSE. That click gets tracked, right? Because Google is reporting it to itself through Google Search Console. However, there are two situations where analytics might not receive that click. Number one, that click might leave before your page loads. Happens all the time. Number two, if they have some way to block your cookies so your analytics can't fire, you won't see that click in your analytics. So it sounds to me like that situation might be what's happening to you, but I would dig into it a bit deeper and see what's going on. Legit Lounge, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. What tool are you using to multi-live? I'm testing out Restream right now. I actually was a Restream user way back in the day. This might be a fun little tidbit. When I started my agency six years ago, Wizard Marketing, I had a crossroads to pick from because I was starting to gain traction. This is so bad. I was starting to gain traction on my Twitch account because I like to game. I have a good time doing it, and I can talk and I can try to be interesting. I don't know. It's what we do. And so I literally had to pick, like, do I want to build an agency or do I want to try and be a Twitch streamer? And I chose to build the agency. And so that's what happened there. But yeah, I was getting traction. I was, about 2 months in, I was doing an average of like 150 viewers per stream. So I mean, for just starting out, it was not bad. So yeah, I'm testing out Restream again. It was supposed to bring all my chats in. However, it's not bringing in my TikTok, and I don't know if it's bringing in my Instagram chats either. So I gotta figure out a solution for that. Mandalorian and Grogu trailer looks fine. I'm not holding my breath. I don't hold my breath for Star Wars anymore, which is sad. I wish I did. Many websites don't have H tags on the about or contact pages. You still want to add them. It gives context to the page. I was about to ask what cam you're filming with looks sharp. So my camera, I use the desktop app. I have a Sony A6400. It's a DSLR that I run via HDMI cable into my computer. So I'm capturing it straight from that camera. The key to the buttery look and the blurry background and all that is actually going to be the lens. I have a Sigma 16 millimeter 1.2 or 1.3 f-stop lens. So that's what gives you that buttery background look as well. So that's the camera that I'm using. I recently realized how many impressions come from scraping tools after I saw it drop when the query parameter was moved. Yeah, scraping tools are crazy right now because ChatGPT has like 3 different tools that it uses for scraping, and those one of them can trigger views and visits, so it's very confusing. Ah. Yep, there you go, legit. That's gonna be your camera combo. I think at this point, because the A6400 is been around a long time, I think this camera is like 8 or 9 years old now. Uh, Between that and the lens, I think you can sneak out for under $1,000. Looking time, I mean, it's a Monday. I was up late. I have a client. I mean, I have a bunch of clients in Europe, but I have a new client in Europe that I needed to make a meeting for. So I stayed up last night to make that meeting at 3 a.m. So hey, you do what you do. Nice. Thank you. You're very welcome. Off topic. Do you do any PC gaming? I do. I do. I'm like level 20 in Borderlands 4 right now. So just trying to squeak in like a mission where I can, you know? You're very welcome, legit. Chico, where did you get your cap? Great story about this hat. Okay, so first of all, hey, love the hat, right? Hat's sick. I love this hat. Um, so this hat I saw Gary V wearing in a video, and I was like, I gotta find that hat. I gotta find the hat. I probably spent, I don't know, 10 hours on the internet trying to find this hat. I could not find the hat. Um, and so one of my TikTok buddies is he works directly for Gary. His name's JMO, John Morgenstern. And I messaged him. I was like, dude, can you, I know this is like a stupid ask, but can you ask Gary where he got that hat? Like, I know you talked to him. And so he's like, yeah, I'll ask Gary. So he messages me back. He's like, hey, give me your address. I'm like, okay, fine. So I give him the address and I get a box. Gary sent me the hat. So it turns out it's Gary's brand, right? So this is like a Gary V hat that he personally sent me a handwritten note from Gary. It was an awesome moment. It's crazy to think that like Gary knows my freaking name. Have clients been asking about AI SEO for service-based businesses? It seems like a waste of time. Always. Everyone wants the cheat code, the shortcut, the whatever. SEO done with AI. Parts of it work, parts of it don't. It's very, very strange. If you want like my lazy answer, right? If you want the laziest possible work you can do for SEO, you can test this out. This is what I would do. I would write an article using either Claude or ChatGPT deep research, right? Write an article about something that you want to rank for. Take that, take it over to Gemini, tell Gemini to optimize the SEO in this article for whatever keyword, post that. That's like the laziest thing I can recommend. The reason why the Gemini step, and I'm not kidding about this, we've been testing it. Gemini's SEO optimization just appears to be better. And I think it's because Gemini has access to the understanding of Google's algorithm. That's it. That's the only excuse I can make for it. So if you wanted to try and be lazy with SEO and just try something, you could do that. I don't recommend that because there's a lot more like technical and topical. I think SEO has shifted away from execution being the high effort and strategy being the high effort. So Hexiac commitment. Do you consider schema important for AEO reports coming in that it's irrelevant in the eyes of ChatGPT? Look, schema is so critical. Schema is so critical because it's written in JSON. It allows AI to process the data inside your schema so much easier, and it's reading the whole page, so it's going into the system. So I highly recommend, if you're not doing schema markup on your sites, you need to start doing it. You will see an improvement both in your organic rankings through Google, but also through AI mentions. We're also testing some other things that may or may not be gray hat in getting your stuff to show up in AI. Gary V, or is this your own mock-up? No, this is the hat from Gary V. Gary V sent me his hat. Speaking of scraping, did you use it in your strategy? If so, how is it effective with clients that is? We scrape all the time. All data is scraping. I mean, I will send my crawl bot on stuff all the time just to get data, get customer comparisons. One of my favorite things to do, I know this is kind of crazy, but um, I like to take the content of like 10 pages, like the top 10 blog pages for a competitor, and do a keyword analysis across the two. So I'll like crawl out all the keywords of those 10 pages, and then I'll find the 10 same pages from my client and crawl those out and see where the gaps are and then try and plug them. So, dude, I've been after the ambitious cap for over a year. Yeah, it's a VFriends hat. Yeah, well, good luck on that legit. You're gonna have to probably go to a Gary event to get it. No, I mean, coming up in AI generated results from Google, not AI handling SEO. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, the big things that impact showing up in the AI overviews is the way you structure your content. Like the actual content on the page has to be very conversational. Unique triplicates are really important. That this is just a fancy way of saying make sure that you're the only one saying that version of that sentence on the internet. Um, Schema markup helps a lot. FAQ schema markup specifically. Good heading structure. Good heading structure helps a lot. A lot. ATM sales? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Leo. Give me some more context. My son wants to go into digital marketing with AI. Is there a future in 5 years? Yes, absolutely. The good. Okay, let me back that up. Hold on. Is there a future? Yes. Is there a future for everybody? No. Here's what's happening. AI is not a replacement. It can't replace because it can't start a thought, right? It needs something to be input to it. It needs a good starting foundation to start rolling from. So AI is not a replacement tool. It's a multiplication tool. It's an enhancement tool. It's a productivity tool. It's going to make people who know what they're doing way stronger. And so that's how I use ChatGPT is I'm like, it's an extension of my own personal effort. Um, so I think that people who have a great knowledge base of what they're trying to do and use ChatGPT to be efficient and effective with that are the ones that are going to really shine. So there will probably be less marketing jobs overall, but they'll be bigger marketing jobs. Does that make sense? I think I said that in the right way. So, have you tried Search Atlas Auto SEO tool? Yes. We use it in-house for all of our clients. It is fantastic. Are you affiliated with Finch DSP ads? So Finch is my agency. So Jack, if you're getting the Finch DSP ads, guess what? It's my agency. We're the ones that do that. Sorry. You're in the targeting. Yeah, I've been a bit scared to deploy auto. Do it. Do it. Here's why I know auto's so good. I've been working with the Search Atlas teams since before they fully launched Search Atlas. Monik Bond, the creator founder of Search Atlas, and I are good friends. We text all the time. Um, there are many features in auto that are my features that I have told them it has to do this. I need it to do that. My clients don't want it to do this. It needs to do this instead. And so uh, I trust it because there's a lot of input in that software specifically from me. What tool you said you use? It's called Search Atlas. It's an SEO tool. If you're using something like SEMrush or Ahrefs or what's the other big one? SE Ranking. If you're using any of those tools, Search Atlas is a competitor to that. I think it's better. It's a more robust system. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat the parts of it that aren't good. They're growing so fast, their servers are constantly abused. Sometimes I'll click to load a page and it will take 30 seconds to load the data. So I'm not going to defend them on that. Like it does happen, but the things that you can do with the tool, the semantic analysis piece, auto, uh, the better view of your search console. Like there's a search console replacement element in their system that I think is just chef's kiss wonderful. Highly recommend it. If you're getting into SEO, go check out Search Atlas. It's going to do you it's going to do you a lot of good. It's going to do you a lot of good. So yeah, what else is going on in the world? Yeah, I'm building out this I'm learning to build my own AI chatbots. I've been testing with it. I've got two built. One of them is really interesting. One of them is actually because this was my first experiment. Um, it's a live co-host for my podcast. So I'm actually testing out like having a podcast with an AI professional on my podcast with me. Um, because I wanted to just test something in a safe environment and like be funny with it. And then once I learned the basics, I'm going to start rolling it out. I want to get a sales chatbot on my landing pages. I think that will help a lot, but that's the next phase. How to run a good campaign for a clothing brand starting in UAE. Also, how much to spend in the beginning. Okay. So clothing brand, e-commerce purchases, couple of things. One, I tend to recommend naming your products uniquely. So don't just be like black V-neck crew t-shirt, whatever. You want to give your products names. The uniqueness helps you stand out. Put all the details, the standard details down in the body of the product. Also work on your collections pages. Collections pages are the most powerful pages on any e-commerce site. So I would highly recommend doing that as well. And then the third thing, to your point, spend on ads. So here's the situation with e-commerce ads. Okay. It doesn't matter too much what platforms you run on. I know that's a weird sentence to say. Your ads should be making you money in 60 days. That our kind of process when we start with an e-commerce account, this is typically what the roadmap looks like. First 30 days, we're setting up new campaigns. We're taking guesses. We're testing things out. Usually we see somewhere around a 2-to-1 ROAS, right? So a ROAS is return on ad spend. So for every $1 you spend, they're gonna buy $2 on the site. That's like a first month. In month 2, now we've got some data. We're going to work on the retargeting. We're going to work on our initial targeting set. We're going to update some ad sets with new creative, new headlines. Usually in month 2, we can get from like a 2 ROAS to like a 3.5, 4 ROAS. The magic happens in that third month, that 60 to 90 day mark. That's where we really have good retargeting data. We're taking advantage of our campaigns that we've built already. We've learned a lot of things. And so we can start hitting that 5, 6, 7, 10 ROAS by the end of that 90-day mark. So ads do take a bit to warm up. Now, the thing about the spend on the ads is that the more you spend, A, the faster you learn, B, the more you can make. So we actually have a program called First Flight that encourages you to spend more each month, because that's typically our hardest part for like a business that's not run ads. If you've run ads before, you're like, yeah, whatever, we'll run 25K, whatever, no big deal. Um, but if you never run ads before, it can be scary spending on the ads. You're nervous about it. And so we encourage that slow growth up and show you like, hey, bigger spend is more money. And so the idea is that once you get to like that 90-day mark, you don't even notice our fees. You want to keep spending more money. You're making more money every month. And so you've got more money to put into the next month. And it just kind of scales up from there. So I would say if you're serious about ads, budget 5K a month to start. I'd like to see you between the 10 and 20K mark within 6 months. The auto SEO guys were at the spring training SEO of Phoenix this year that you're not a fan of, lol. Hey, look, it's not that I'm not a fan of it. The How do I say this delicately and delicately? My issue with SEO spring training is when I went, it was the clickiest, cultiest bunch of circle jerkers that I've ever seen in business. And anything that threatened their strategy that they've been running for 10, 12 years, whatever it is, they immediately were hostile towards. And I don't like that. I'm an open-minded guy. I want to be on the bleeding edge. I want to discover the new thing. I want to work on the new trend. I don't mind changing my strategy internally if there's something that's working better. So that's why I didn't enjoy it. Have you tried Hume AI for voice bots and TTS? No, I haven't, but I'm open to exploring things. Can you use auto on WordPress? Yeah. You can use it on any platform. That's what's cool about it. We have it on platforms that are insanely stupid and old, and auto works just fine. Does anyone use AI for campaign pacing? And if so, how? Interesting. We don't use any AI for campaign pacing. But I'm sure there are people who are doing that. How long is the ramp up phase for Google search ads? Typically, like I said, that 30-day mark, you're like trying to break even. The 60-day mark, you're like starting to make a little bit. The 90-day mark, you're really pulling in the ROAS. I have 8.5 ROAS with small spendings in EGP. I want to scale up. I have all the creatives in one ad set. I mean, that 8.5, what I would do is I would just keep spending in it till it drops to like a 5 and then start working on new ads. What's your view on backlink exchanges? Backlink exchanges are fine, I guess. They don't hurt you. Not my favorite, but like they don't hurt you. So, is there no chance on ads for a small brand with a little budget? It's tough, Michael. It's really tough. Because the thing is that the more budget you have, so let's just do this by pure math. Okay. Ads is about guessing who would want to see your stuff at this exact moment in time. So if you have a budget that can reach 5,000 people, you're not getting how do I say this? You're not getting the data back, right? Like you're only hitting 5,000 people. Let's say 2 of those convert or 4 of those convert. Okay. Whereas if I reach, 50,000 people, when I get conversions, when I get non-conversions, I'm getting data. I'm training my pixel to understand who is a good fit and who's not a good fit. I'm having a broader bit of demographic data. And I'm giving the system more opportunities to be like, I think this person's pretty close. Let's try them. So the more you spend, typically the more you can make. That's just a general rule of thumb in ads. So 20% every 3 days or way more. That's a good discussion. So if you're trying to grow an ad spend amount, there's kind of two schools of thought. The first school of thought is what you just mentioned. Never raise your budget more than 20% in a 3-day window. That's a pretty standard thought, and that's fine. The other school of thought is never or 90% increase once every 5 days, right? The key is to not go back into learning phase. You don't want to go back into learning phase once you have an ad that's dialed in. That's the key. So, I think it's one of those situations where do what makes you feel comfortable. I'm in the 20% growth group, by the way. Like, that's my opinion. My boss, though, he's in that 90% leap. So we tested out with TikTok, and it's been successful. So no complaints there. Yeah, TikTok ads have been really good. We're doing leads for like $14. Now, granted, not all of them are the highest quality leads. Like, we've had a lot of no-show meetings and people with, no budgets, but we've had a few that have really turned into some beautiful contracts. Uh, and they're going to be exciting accounts to work on. That's the other part. Like, I love what I do so much. It's so fun to see the wins come in and the business grows and they're excited and you're excited, and such a marketing's such a weird job, but it's so rewarding when you nail it. I use TikTok organic reach to help my ads. I have 104,000 on here on TikTok, but I only make ads on Meta, Facebook, and TikTok. So what I've been doing, Deeb, because I know your channel, I just run my top performing organic videos as ads. That's what I do. And it works great. So if I want a new ad, I have to go make organic videos and then see how they do, and then they can join my ad set. Thanks so much for the UAE tips and budget. Could you tell me which platform for clothing starting? I mean, Shopify is the best, period. It's not even a question. Like, no one's close to Shopify's platform. If you're looking for the ad platform and you're on Shopify, I would recommend TikTok ads because you can do direct to purchase and TikTok ads. I think that's just wildly good. Other than that, I mean, if you're a t-shirt brand, it's visual. So if your target market's a little younger, I would start on Snapchat. Snapchat's a way open field, by the way. Just, bro, I love your marketing ethos. Oh, thanks, Artie. I'm a specialist for a marketing company, entry level. How secure is my job with the shift of AI? That's up to you, David. Are you going to embrace AI and use it to make you stronger? Are you going to use it to take your ideas, your execution to the next level? Because if you do, your job's probably pretty secure. If you try and do it all by hand, so you can claim you did it all by hand and you fall behind, that's another question. Now, grain of salt. AI is not omni-intelligent. Sometimes it's very dumb. You have to use your brain to filter it. So don't just ship poo-poo, pee-pee, garbage content. You've got to be clever about it. Did you know that Yext takes listings down when you stop paying their monthly subscription? Yep, that's why we don't use Yext, because Yext is crap. It is a bad platform. They are a scam. They're much like Yelp at this point. It's all a scam. Cool. Well, I've caught up in the questions. I am going to call it there for today for this multi-stream. If you have another platform that you like I said, I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok right now. So If you want to follow me on any of those other platforms, definitely do so. Do so. I'd love to have you over there. I'm going to continue trying out the multi-stream. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll get big on Twitch. I don't know. But, but thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have any other questions, catch me on another live, shoot me a direct message, hit me up in my calendar, my links in my bios. Would love to chat about it. If you do want help with your business, hit me up, finch.com. You can get me there as well. So have a wonderful rest of your day, your Monday. Get back to work, get that work done. And as I always say, when it comes to marketing, best of luck, friends.